Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Bets.net Challenger Series. We're into our second series of the day and our final series of the playoff stage. Fragsters just beat Godsent. They are now taking their rightful spot at the final hurdle to face off against forZe, who came in from the top half of the bracket. There's one more best of three to decide who will be the champions of the Challenger Series. My name is Switchblade J. Joining me is none other than Sir Danny. Danny, very interesting set of maps we got here because we got some interesting curveballs being thrown in by both teams, and Train is a map that both are relatively good at, in my opinion.
I agree with that. I would definitely agree with it. Interestingly enough, we were expecting to see Train in the previous matchup, which didn't happen. And if it would have been Train, I did expect it to actually go sort of Fragsters' way. But the fact that Fragsters is going to be facing up against a team like forZe, I would honestly believe that Fragsters should be the team to come out on top. However, I think it's really going to come down to the battle of the operas. Having an AWP player on a map like Train is very important, whether it be on the T side or the C side. It is quite an opera-depending map, and I do wonder if forZe's Little can actually step up to the play.
Yeah, potentially. I feel like this series could actually go to the favour of Fragsters 2-0 because they've actually thrown in Nuke as the second map, which is something I don't usually expect to see at this kind of a level of Counter-Strike. A lot of teams, even at the top tier, tend to avoid it as much as is possible. So to see this curveball being thrown in is a very interesting time for Fragsters. And as well as that, they are also known to be very, very competent over on Inferno. They've had not as many times. They don't play it as like a default pick, but when they do play it, they tend to win. So there's a lot for forZe to do here in the coming series. It would be very nice for them to take Train, else I feel that they may end up losing the series very, very quickly unless they do. So knife round coming into play to get the choice to side. Both teams are CT based, so a CT start would be fantastic for either one. And it looks like forZe will be the ones to get their choice of style. Will they stick or will they switch? It looks like they're going to stick it, so forZe get a CT start on Train.
Yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it? Especially, as I alluded earlier, being a map of having great operas, competent operas. They have one in the form of Little. Sometimes he's absent of certain maps, and a map like Train is probably his best one out there. So as an opera, I'm really interested to see if he's going to be able to step up to the play. And yeah, we're just going to have to wait and see if that is the case. And if I do recall correctly, it does look like SWAT is going to be the stand-in in this matchup for what it seems like. Interestingly enough.
Yeah, I don't think forZe have a permanent fifth. There seems to be at play with them quite frequently over the course of this tournament, so imagine he's a stand-in just holding out for as much as he can. He's obviously on loan from Rave. A very good starting from forZe, however, on the pistol round. Jerry gets 2 frags, eventually traded back by Torbeni, then as Fragsters burst back into the A-bomb site. Now they've still got this defuse kit in play on Little, but several other players with armor are getting tagged up pretty hard. Little does try and right back, taking Torbeni down. That's the bomb planter, and now Dragonfly will finish off face crack, leaving it all on Little. 15 HP in a dream, no armor. And the fuse kit in place, smoke potential for the Ninja, but all the stray bullets landing probably should take him out in action, so he's got to get some very clinical headshots to try and clutch this out. 1v2 up for the 3k, and Dragonfly spots him, knows exactly where he is. His teammate will come in to support, smokes go down, flashbangs away, Little challenged by Dragonfly back behind the electric box. And they look for this single shot that will shut him down. Dragonfly just looking for the flick, eventually lands his head. And there it is, a nice opening pistol to the favour of Fragsters.
A good one at that, a simple one as well. Fragsters just rush out the A main, able to acquire that presence between the trains relatively quickly. And in the post plant, it is none other than, I believe it was Torment to come on through and Dragonfly with the headshots. So Fragsters right now, yes, they claim the pistol round and the possibility to get themselves the second round going as well, as it does appear forZe will go for the investment here. Power has got the scout in his hands. Interestingly enough, Little is also the one purchasing up the P250 and armor, so maybe he's not going to be going for the AWP buy as they might have expected. However, Savin picks up one scalp of his own. Refreshed though, he was playing the anti-flash position. However, Durbin was supposed to watch main. Anyhow, that mishap does happen, but that's about it. That's the only mishap we're going to be seeing it around like this. SWAT does remain alive, but the thing is though, Fragsters will plant the bomb and just try to get this one out of the, yeah, probably just gonna try to end this one as soon as possible. Swither will try to peek on through. He's actually gonna be able to kill Dragonfly somehow, so it may not be the cleanest of rounds for Fragsters, but yeah, Swat probably will consider just saving the deagle and maybe get a couple more exit frags if possible.
Can try to break his way into T-Con as well. Could take down Benny and get an AK for his trouble. Should be a very nice pickup considering forZe are only working with pistols in this round. The second round will sit to the favour of the Danes as a result of this. We'll back out of T-Con, so Sviat has one opportunity to creep in, get that AK and creep right back out, but he's going to get shut down from the backhand side. He's not expecting T-side players to be pushed up through Ivy. Will make his way in, grabs the Galil, but Starvin trades him right back out. So not a major loss for Fragsters. They keep both the main AKs in play. And the MAC-10 will come out from Refresh to try and farm things up for the full eco of the forZe. So they've got a Deagle, they've got a PT-50, they've got two PT-50s actually. And two USPs in from XSE and Svat. I imagine this should be a relatively clinical round for Fragsters for the moment right here. They have started things off very well, taking the pistol and both the conversions, or at least they should be both the conversions. I don't really see much of forZe in this next round. Indeed, as Jerry falls, the only man on the A-side defensive is down. They've all pushed Ivy, they've found nothing. And now they try to go towards the A-bomb site once again. Bomb goes down. Svat does get Dragonfly and looks for a second as well on Starvin. Unfortunately, can't get the second headshot on the lone man. Starvin will trade. Quick trade back on the second man. There's easy pickings for the AKs. Refresh even gets a kill with a MAC-10. So 3-0 start for Fragsters. And now we go into the gun round.
Pretty good start as well, the 3-0 lead. And yes, it does look like Little is not going to be the opera for the team, at least on the CT side, and at least not yet. It is Power, the new addition to the forZe team, who will be picking up the scoped sniper rifle. And I do wonder, where shall he position himself? Because the opera can really put himself in various positions, like towards Ivy. You can be taking a look at T-Con through Z connector, but it does look like a player like Power will be making his way towards Brown Halls. Not a bad position to be in, but honestly, if you are the Brown Halls player, you might just consider, yes, you might just consider, if you're a FaZe cracker, just simply back away and put more numbers on that A side, and numbers are going to be needed because Fragsters are now making the push on this side, and so far Little and Swai doing a pretty good job. But Fragsters, they still have 3 of their players remaining. And I'm pretty sure they will continue on to play. The Molotov should be good enough to force out Little out of position. But Little still somehow survives and in fact backs away to the smoke. So interestingly enough, there's still quite a lot of players here. Torben is able to kill the Heaven Defender. Dragonfly comes up huge with the frag of Little. And this becomes very doable for Fragsters. If Torben is able to kill Power, and yes he will, this round is pretty much over. Swad, not the easiest of rounds for him as he's gonna get, crossfired to oblivion. As Swad falls, so Fragsters pick up the round. It didn't look that bad though for forZe. You know, once Fragsters were entering the bomb site, in fact, forZe pick up 2 of the frags. It's a 3 versus 4. It's not looking too shabby. However, once they plant the bomb and somehow Torben is able to kill the Heaven player, the round just turns off on its head.
Very nicely done there from forZe. Almost became, as you said, a very, very nice round for them, but all the trades went to the favour of Fragsters. Fragsters had their way back into that round. So the AK's out, the AWP for Dragonfly. He's going to start to peek in, flashbangs over, catches off the first. Falls on this half bite. Try and look for something in this round, but I imagine that Fragsters will be able to claim a very confident 5th to their favour, put forZe on max loss bonus, and start to focus on things from there. Is it just small picks coming through? The first AWP frag has come for Dragonfly. Got to deal with a little as well here towards this Ivy position as the T's make their way out of T-Con. Starvin now in to take down Jerry Deveni, then takes face crack as well. 5-on-2 situation. Little and Sviat. Very little that they can do. Very little that they will do. Bomb down. The 5-0 scoreline should ensue for Fragsters. Let's see what Sviat can do from here. Out towards ramp, and actually he's not even going to rotate at all. He's just going to save his CZ, his armor. The armor will be a nice bonus amount of money. He doesn't need to invest it into the next rifle round. So having that much for him. Maybe another frag on Fragsters. Pretty good for the CT situation, but again, I doubt he'll be able to make the retake work. No defuse kit either, so he hasn't got enough time to make the retake work. Although Fragsters are leaving the site early. So you're not going to do this? Oh my god.
Just gonna check for one last time, but it doesn't really matter, Swat. The round is pretty much over at that point. 5 lead for Fragsters, as you might have anticipated. And now, Power back at the sniper rifle. I think Swat and Little, one of the players are probably considering to getting that double AWP setup going, and yes, that will be just it. Power back with the sniper rifle hasn't been able to get a single frag alongside his buddy Face Crack. So now the double up setup, as it does come into play, we are expecting maybe this could be the saving grace here for forZe. And Power is trying to get the initial frag going. It's not really going to work out as Dragonfly isn't peeking into his crosshairs just yet. In fact, they're going to play a bit more passively here, forZe. It does seem like they are going to be putting a bit more emphasis to something like Pop Dog and T-Con, as you have Power making his way towards Dragonfly. Dragonfly's got to be careful, and Power's going to get it. He gets the frag, and he backs away. Textbook Counter-Strike right there. And it does look like the play will happen. Jerry's trying to hold things down, but Fragsters, one of their players, has made his way through to Electric. But this is not looking a very good start for them. Power gets the flick onto Torben, and for Refresh to win this one, well, he's going to have to get quite lucky. This could be a good frag for him to claim, but Face Crack is not going to give it away. forZe, they get their first round on here, and Power, I did mention that he had 0 frags before this round begun, but now he ends up having 3, so the uppers, like I said, they can really come into play in a map like Train here, especially on that CT side.
Especially when you're pulling off some nut shots like Power was pulling off right there. Simple and clinical shot on the first second on top of the train. A vertical flick. Ridiculous from the AWP player on the A bomb site. forZe have scored their first as a result. The Fragsters not going to go quietly into that good night just yet. They have another buyback here. 4 AKs, an AWP, and a good close range engagement to come through. Will they find it? Apparently no. Face Crack sprays on through, gets serious damage on Bubsky. Bubsky will trade him out, but overall that does mean that forZe come out on top. They have a nice HP advantage above them. Power with 57, Bubsky with 29. Fragsters concede their control over the brown halls. Now just going to rotate, move towards Ivy. 2 players here to deal with 2 more from forZe. That's Svaya and Little. Dragonfly ready to try and shut the first man down. He hears footsteps but doesn't see any vision, doesn't catch anyone off. As Fragsters also are moving in towards T-Con. It looks like they're ready to make a final push into the A-bomb site. A little bit of utility to make this work. I can go for a basic execution, but for now it's just the peaks coming in from Ivy. Lose a little bit of HP, but Power is down. One of the AWPs out of play. Svaya goes down. Little also traded, and Jerry is alone. Very, very clinical from Fragsters, taking their time, taking the 1v1 engagements, and disallowing any chance for forZe to trade. The bomb will go down, and for Jerry, this will be a clutch retake. He could still make it possible considering the HP numbers on Fragsters, but up against 4 players, it's very, very doubtful that he'll be able to do it.
Yeah, I mean, that was some good stuff from a team like Fragsters. You know, they had some buddy systems going. Like, we saw Dragonfly, who has made his way through Ivy, trying to peek his way onto the side, trying to spot out something. Meanwhile, his teammate, I do believe that Stavin, was watching his behind, expecting maybe someone to come out from there from Ultra. In fact, it is a player. They're able to get the frag, and from that point onward, like, Fragsters just able to just roll their way onto the side, and successfully so. They get every single frag as they win every single engagement, except one against Jerry, as Jerry was the one who was very far away from the action. He does save the AK-47 in the end, but now what do you do if you're forZe? What do you do? There's quite the disadvantaged position in the rounds department. However, it doesn't look like the forZe players will invest in a round like this. At least not try to go for the force buy here. Maybe the partial buy would make sense. At least then they could somewhat even out their money, but even that's not going to be the case. Looks like Power is going to try to save up some of his money because he will get that sniper rifle as soon as possible. Nade does come through. Doesn't do a lot of damage on a player like Dragonfly, but he's got to be doing some damage onto Power, taking it out of the equation. And for Fragsters to actually win out this one is looking very much likely. One player pushing through, that's Jerry, but it doesn't matter because Dragonfly does land the flick. And well, recovering the AK-47 would be nice for forZe. Don't think it's going to be possible though.
Definitely not. AK picked up by Little at the very least for forZe, so doesn't drop right into T-Con. 5-on-3 situation in favour of the Frags as they get the opening couple of frags on Dragonfly. Nice boost. And now another boost coming in from Bubsky and teammate. Dropping a pop dog spot. Face Crack. 21 HP remains. They continue to spray as they are completely blind. But Stavin taking the opportunity. Knows that he's pushed out. Takes him down. Looks for Svaya as well. Leaving Little alone. AK has picked off his fallen comrade. But what can he do with it here from T-Con? Oh, sorry, regular connector I should say. The bomb yet to commit, but Fragsters, wherever they go, they should be able to get it down very confidently here. Little is the lone man standing, can't cover both sites. And even if they do, it's all just down to the numbers game against them. Pushes out, spotted, takes Starvin at least, but Tolbeni then with a quick trade back turns it 7-1 to the favour of Fragsters. It's a very dominating start from this T side, and not what we were expecting right here. forZe are very, very CT-sided on train. They have a number of, like, a very nice balance towards their CT side when it comes to their past results. So seeing them go down this much on this scoreline and see Fragsters shine as much as they are on T side right now isn't spelling very good things for the Russian team. If they fall a little bit too far behind, then I feel like the match may already be a loss by the turn of the half, and another 14-1 scoreline. That's exactly what Fragsters would love to have to boost their morale after they took that kind of a score against Godsent and actually won this series as a result.
Yeah, I do wonder how will forZe try to change things up. Yes, they do have the WWP setup back into play, but the one thing I did like, one of the rounds that they did do, in fact, was try to play a bit more aggressive towards brown holes. We saw FaceCrack actually picking up the initial frag, still making it a 4 versus 4. Somewhat good for Fragsters, as that trade does go in favor of the T side, but in a world where FaceCrack has also got another teammate nearby him, they probably could have also killed Bubsky in that scenario, suddenly making it very doable for the CT side. Don't think we're going to be seeing that aggression. In fact, we're going to be seeing very passive play here from forZe. Even though Little, he put himself in a pretty good position. He was able to snipe down one through, but FaceCrack, it does look like we're going to try to push on through. Jerry right behind the electric picks up two, and suddenly this round isn't looking that good here for the Danes. Yes, Dragonfly, ooh, that was not supposed to happen. FaceCrack gives it away a pretty good frag. That could have been very crucial in a 2 versus 2. Now it's a 1 versus 2, so it's not that crucial, but Squad will be able to kill Bubsky. But anyhow, FaceCrack, a bit of an over-aggression from his part, but his team is able to win the round. So the passive setup on the A side does work out, as Fragsters execute just falls apart.
I feel like there's a world where FaceCrack actually did manage to get that frag jumping in from Pop Dog, but Bubsky was turned around at the right point. It was just great timing from him. And that would have been a nice 2 versus 2 if Dragonfly wasn't traded back. So forZe keep on top of everything just about. Keep things in the advantage for their second round. They just have to avoid getting reset right here again. It's the opposite of what they want to find. Of course, this already happened to them once during this match. And Fragsters would love to do it again to them. They're also kind of tender on their own economy sets. They're limited on utility, but they're going to go straight in towards this round, getting the first frag. Aggressive on the second. Bubsky takes Pop Dog control and shuts Jerry down. Looks for save power and shuts him out as well as he takes out Refresh close with the AWP. 2 versus 4. And once again, Fragsters just burst onto the A-bomb site, get the bomb down, and leave Little and FaceCrack as the 2 players for the retake. They're both close towards the site train. Tolbeni then spots Little on top of Ticket Booth and still survives that engagement with 12 HP, leaving FaceCrack alone on the other side of the train and not looking where Stavin is. That's an 8th round on the board for Fragsters and a reset against forZe. No money to work with on the CT side.
Yeah, that's the thing. Again, there's a reason that does happen. It does look like maybe forZe, if they're able to get the consecutive round going, they might just be able to make this half a bit more doable, you know? But the fact that they have lost another round after winning, you know, the previous one, means that it is a double eco. And a double eco it is, in fact. Not even a force buy here from forZe. They're going to try to eco this one out, and then just go for another eco yet again, it seems like. And they're going to try to stack this A-bomb city, which I don't blame them. They're going to try to change things up just a little bit. They might get lucky with a stack like this. However, the problem is Fragsters, they don't even care about the A-bomb site. In fact, they have players watching out for aggression from said A-bomb site. As Fragsters, does look like they're just about to make their way back on this B site. However, they're still stalling here. You know, they're still wondering about their options. Not seeing any sort of aggression here from the forZe players. They should be very careful, as the stack is definitely a possibility.
If Fragsters haven't got any information on what forZe are playing out right now, they don't know if they force spot, they don't know if they're going in eco, they don't know if they've got CZs and Deagles, whether they've got P250s and USPs. In this case, they've got a mix of both. And a bit of positional advantage as well. Actually, they're just general stalling. And their time taken to set this whole thing up may have cost them a couple of good positions here from Svaya and Jerry. They take one man down. Deagle shots from Svaya, gets the AK. Jerry will look for the second man with the P250, but up against the AKs, it's so unlikely that he'll win it. And Dragonfly takes that pop shot with the AWP, keeps him back from getting the retake together. And all in all, forZe won't be able to hold on to a retake right here. As the bomb has been planted, the P250 and the Deagle have no armor with them. Bubsky takes out Jerry and swaps Svaya to stay alive with the AK back here towards Ivy. 3 players will remain for Fragsters as well, so they take a very confident round against forZe. A little bit more carefully than you would usually expect an anti-eco like this, but obviously they didn't get anything on what forZe were planning to do in this round, so eventually they do concede a couple of players. They do concede 3 overall, actually, making this a rather expensive round for Fragsters. forZe actually can justify the force buy off the back of this, but not too much, because Fragsters' economy has really started to skyrocket here.
Yeah, if you're forZe, just try to go for another eco. I mean, you might be able to scrape a buy here. Don't get me wrong, you know, FaceCrack could get himself an M4. Jerry also looked like he could actually get himself maybe FAMAS going, but I mean, it's not the best of buys. Yeah, the scoreline is about to be 10-2, more likely than not. But at least you're going to be having a somewhat decent chance of winning the upcoming round with a proper investment. So that is what forZe is hoping for to do. And oh, unlucky Bubsky, he gets killed by Jerry as he was trying to throw a smoke grenade right there. I think he's going to try to make the call that a B push is happening. So maybe just consider pushing on the A side. However, take very much good control of Pop Dog, or at least be very wary of that part of the map. And refresh though. He's in fact going to push on through the smoke, going to kill FaceCrack. Doesn't seem the second player who was right behind Electric, oddly enough. So Swat, yeah, he's going to burn into the flames. The guy in Electric also going to get taken down. And Jerry probably will just save the AK-47. If that is the case, it's not that bad for him. Definitely not of top priority because all of his players can make the investment. But saving an AK wouldn't be too bad for his squad. Okay, Jerry's gonna kill Stabbin in that scenario. Still making things a bit more expensive here for the Danes, and I don't blame Jerry for doing so. So right now, yeah, consider saving the AK-47 if possible. If not, well, your team is still gonna have to make some sort of investment coming into, well, the latter stages of the first half. Torben, oh, not gonna see him. Jerry's gonna get him, and he's gonna continue on saving the AK-47.
And getting those 3 kills as well. Just slowly start to chip away at the economy of Fragsters. It's not going to be enough to break them overall. Obviously, they got like 13 grand, 15 grand on one player right now. Actually, the full 16k on Torbenian and everybody else above that 5k average mark. So they can buy it down. They have money to play with. Slowly chipping it away. You can see how shaky the ground of Fragsters is at the moment. So a good round from forZe could break them. Another follow-up could possibly reset them. I guess the double op set up, maybe forZe. This is the round that they could break through with this one. Little and say power. The big green guns for the CT side. One out towards Connector, one out towards Ivy. The challenge against Faye. No. Not quite landing it. Dragonfly couldn't get the first man. Out towards Connector. He'll spot a bit of vision on some players, but the flashbang just keeps him from getting that opening pick as forZe go aggressive in towards the A-bomb site. Actually rotate also out towards the A train as well. FaceCrack's the only man holding down B. Eventually Little will go ahead and back him up with the second AWP as the teams make their way out. Oh, he's lining up 2, gets the headshot on refresh, but he can't get the full collateral kill. Stavin will be tagged up hard, and FaceCrack has got info. He spotted the bomb, takes Bubsky out of the action, and Dragonfly desperately looking for one of these picks. Oh, but he looks away at the wrong time. Sviat takes advantage of it and shuts him down. It's all Stavin, 16 HP here on the bomb site. He gets shut down all the same, and Torb is the lone man remaining. 3k for Sviat, as he takes down the brunt of the aggression from Fragsters, and forZe keep all 5 players alive on the CT side.
Not bad round to pick up for Fragster, for the team like forZe, pardon me. As they are only getting themselves the 3rd round here on the board, which isn't saying much, but at least if they're gonna get the last 2 remaining, we could call it a day. It's gonna have to be. There's just no other way of putting it. So we hope that forZe is gonna be able to claim at least the 2 last remaining rounds of this first half. Then maybe, just maybe they have a chance there on the T side of train. But now, as this aggression is happening from Ivy, it could get very easily punished by a player like Dragonfly. No, you... Oh, okay. So Power's gonna get it somehow. Stavin is able to get one with the refrag, but the Power is pretty much stuck in his awkward position. Oh, no. Stavin's gonna push on through, and Power's gonna get him. He punishes the aggression from the smoke, and Fragsters, at this point, it's not a very advantageous position here for the Dangerous squad, but he can still make it work. But once FaceCrack is able to kill Bubsky, this is where things become very difficult for the Danes. They still have an opportunity here, don't get me wrong. But it's not the easiest one out there. Torben, though, may get lucky, but in fact, it's Jerry to spot out the player through the smoke. So refresh, it's all on him.
And 1 versus 4, but it could be different if Starvin was in play. Didn't have to aggress down Ivy, and obviously he did, so... Man advantage for forZe. Could have been a 4 versus 4, but it's a 3 versus 4, and then the trades just swung their way, as it will be for C-Power. 3 kills for him, a 4th on the board for forZe. And going into this last round of the half, Fragsters still have enough to buy up, roughly about in full. Not quite a fully defined buy, it seems. Refresh are going to have some problems. Dragonfly can only get the Kevlar helmet and the AK with no utility. And yeah, very limited utility across the board here for this T side. Interestingly enough, no one's actually gone for the UMP, so that way they can get the full set of utility out. So decisions from Fragsters leaves their execution potential very, very low. As the flashbangs are together in 5s. Smoking a Molotov for Starvin. And Fragsters slowly but surely starting to make their way into positions in Pop Dog. Not from T-Con actually, very little T-Con presence from Fragsters, considering that there's been a very key position where the likes of Dragonfly would like to take their opening frag, but very, very nice crossfire locked out from the CT side as they pick apart everyone coming out of Pop Dog, and Little focuses down Torben out towards T-Con. It's all Starvin, 1 versus 4. Surely the round is a loss. It looks like forZe will get their fifth.
Okay.
Awkward from FaceCrack, actually. Jumping down as Starvin went up, and as a result, actually, it's going to mean he stays alive for a few seconds longer.
That's some sick ladder. Yeah, that's some sick ladder movement, but that's about it. That's probably the highlight of the entire round for Fragsters, and well, it's going to be 10-5. I guess we could say Fragsters still end up running away with the half, as they did have that stellar start there from the get-go. But forZe, you know, they're able to climb back through. You know, they claimed the 5 rounds on the CD side of Train. That doesn't say much, but at least they have something to work with here. And, you know, if they're able to get that terror-side pistol run going, maybe they might just come back into this game. If not, well, I do very much see Fragsters running away with this one. So the pistol round, yeah, it's going to be quite important here for forZe. So I do wonder what they're going to be able to cook up here. A couple of smokes being invested here for forZe. The 2 flashes as well. And the 2 P250s dropped off with players like Little and Power, interestingly enough. So I do wonder what is the game plan here for forZe.
They do need this pistol. They need to come out swinging with the aggression out here. 2 P250s to play raid boss. So they are trying to take some fights out against Fragsters. And Svaya and Jerry have enough utility to go for a half execution. They wanted to go towards A site. It would be pretty effective with those 2 smokes. Vice versa for B site as well, but they will be kind of limited to 1/2 of the overall corridor. So let's see what they're going to do right here. So power to strike first. Getting Dragonfly down from Ivy. The fuse kit's still in play from Torben. Still a minute left to go here for forZe now. They have got the utility players stacking up. Jerry in particular putting a smoke down, ready to flash his way in. Here we go. forZe with the hit. Refresh back of Electric Box. Takes Little. Kicks things off for Frags. Decided a quick 1-for-1 trade. And now the T start to pour in from Pop Dog and from T-Cob. But Bubsky and Torben have it locked down. 2 frags for them. 3 versus 2. Starvin playing in the back lines back towards A1. And Bubsky trying to watch out for Say Power. Noses towards Hell. Starvin shuts him down. And Jerry is the lone man remaining. 1v3. And Bubsky gets a double. That's 11 rounds on the board for Fragsters. As forZe, things are not looking good for them. Their T-side may not be going so well.
Nope. That is not the start they were looking for. They needed the pistol round go their way. Otherwise, well, I guess we could say they still have another opportunity. This being the force buy here, which does seem like it's going to happen. I mean, Jerry insta-force buys. The rest of the guys still considering about it. Well, Power will obviously go for the save. He's, you know, the offer for the team, and looks like he's going to try to get the sniper rifle here on the T side as well. The rest of the guys, I mean, interestingly enough, it's not a full-on force buy. It's the lonesome Jerry who buys the CZ75, and oh no, he looks like he's going to be able to punish Torben. He only punishes Torben, though. Bubsky, at least he's able to refrag. If such refrag doesn't happen, then I'm pretty sure the rest of the force guys just explode into the side. Stavin does win quite a crucial aim. Duan also gonna kill FaceCrack as well. So it did look very good if those players would have been able to make their way onto the side. However, Little and Swiler guys making their way onto the side. If Little plants the bomb, then the guys from force is gonna have a bit more extra money. This is turning out to be quite a decent round. Little Stavin is quite low in HP, so this is quite the doable round here for Little. But the thing is, though, if they double peek him, I don't know how Lil can actually win this one out, and they are gonna able to kill him in the end. Overall, that's quite the expensive round. Quite the expensive round here for forZe. But they do end up making it. They plant the bomb as well, and Fragsters, I mean, they're gonna take it home, and, well, economically damaging as it was, they're still, of course, gonna reinvest here.
Oh, it's got that bomb plant. It looks like they are going to go full investment here. AKs, Galils, 3 AKs actually coming out, so limit light on utility, but that's what Jerry's there for. That's why he's taken the CZ above anything else. Of course, he couldn't really afford the AK anyway, but regardless, not going in completely weak and going in to play supportive for forZe in this round. They go out towards the Ivy default once again. It's Starman as the first man to take contact, but Bubsky gets the first frag, so power is down. And Dragonfly and Torben actually back right out of their aggressive positions at the B bomb site. Meanwhile, the push is coming in from forZe of Ivy. They found Staven, taking him down. Quick trade back from Bubsky for 2k. The T's also pushing in from Pop as well. They've actually got no one covering this off, Fragsters. They've got to be careful about this, because if Jerry gets around, this CZ could be a lot more deadly at this kind of a range. What will he find? Indeed, he finds Bubsky, gets aggressive, back to a 3 versus 3, and the AK's fire takes Refresh down. I'll open up the A bomb site. The CT's trying to rotate, trying to find a good angle. Torben takes Jerry down, but Dragonfly will fall just as quickly. Bomb to get planted, a retake on for the 100 HP player, the FAMAS player for the CT side. He's got to find Sviat as the first man just above the smoke. Spots him, sprays him, but Sviat takes him down. And the 6th will sit to the favor of forZe.
That's good. That is very good for forZe. Able to win that round. It didn't look like Fragsters were actually anticipating a force buy to come out from the forZe players. And the fact that it comes out with AK-47s being popped up, Fragsters just pretty much get lost in that round. And they weren't able to get pretty much anything going for them. forZe able to get the round going. And Fragsters, I honestly I'm not sure if I agree with the investment they're making here. I mean, yeah, they're in the lead, but going for a force buy like this, where you have a couple players on the pistols, like Torben of the, that's weird. Jerry throws down the Molotov. Bubsky just pushes on through. Face Crack though is doing the majority of the cleanup here towards Ivy. And this buy, like I said, it's wacky. It is very wacky. MP9 being purchased up, 2 CZs, Staven not finding anything with the scout, and I think he's now gonna probably even consider saving the scout at this point, because forZe, they completely steamroll Fragsters, and the Danes are out of this one.
Completely out of it. All 5 players stay alive for forZe. The Staven is unable to retreat in time, loses all his HP. There is 7 rounds on the board now for forZe. Fragsters, not the same can be said for their own economy state. The Eagles out for Dragonfly. I think that may be all the pistol power they can get. This should be a standardized eco. There should be forZe taking themselves another round on their T-side board. Took them a while to get it started. Fragsters got 2, but now forZe trying back with 2 of their own. Still potential for another one. Fragsters will stack the A-bomb site. forZe will make their way in. I'm surprised no one stacked Ivy, because forZe's push has always been centered around Ivy, so far in this second half at least. So Fragsters, it would be nice to see a couple of players holding down that position, dedicated to holding down that position. forZe will just play this carefully, because they actually may be expecting that Ivy stack, which will be deadly for them. The USPs, the numbers game at that kind of a range would just tear them apart. So gotta be careful. Gotta think quick. Oh, wow. Actually, that's the player they're going for, Fragsters. The box stack here towards A2. And actually, if they go pushing through, this might actually end up working. Look at Face Crack and Save Power. They're going to line it up. Oh, no way. 2 for 2 trade. The USPs managed to get a couple of rifles, but fortunately, Jerry and Little take things back away. Dragonfly will fall all the same. 8 to 12. So, thankfully, order has been restored. Fragsters, a very ridiculous setup that almost ended up working for them.
But it was a nice try. I mean, they are able to get 2 frags, which is very cool to see. But that's about it, really. They're able to do some economic damage there on the force players. Not the most amount of it, as really the economy game doesn't really matter that much for a team like forZe, because they really just want to try to win out every single round in the row. I don't know if that's going to be possible, but that is definitely up there on their agenda. Fragsters, though, they're very much back here with the investment, as they do have a Dragonfly. back on the sniper rifle. Not sure if he's going to be able to acquire any more frags here. As interestingly enough, the B bomb site is, well, being very much passively defended by one of the Fragsters players. They're in fact going to be putting still a bit more emphasis on this A part of the map, where Dragonfly is holding with his sniper rifle, but even he actually rotates back. Not sure why the call does come through, but forZe, you know, they themselves are taking their sweet time right about now. We're seeing some of the forZe players trying to take that brown hole's control. And as they do so, I mean, map presence isn't looking too bad here for forZe.
Not amazing though. They haven't got full control of Ivy position or T-Con or even upper at this point for the B site here. It looks like they're going to be going in for a B site here. And Starvin also creeping around Ivy. He's going to start getting a lot of information on where they're at. May call on the rotation from Bubsky, but not a little bit too soon. Here we go. The hit's coming out. All the utility pulls on through. They got one towards upper. Torben been spotted out. That's taken down by Sviat. Face crack gets a quick trade, but refreshes right here outside the bomb train. Gets himself 2 frags. Turns around for his third, but save power. When the AWP turns on towards him, Bubsky also tagged low and forced back down through the train. Stavin on the back stamp spots out Sviat, but can't take him down. Meanwhile, Bubsky will fall to second face on Stavin. He'll trade out Sviat. Gets save power. And now down to a 1 versus 1. Little with the Acre, it all comes down to this. What the hell was that, Stavin? Jumps straight through, places Crosshair perfectly, and gets the 3rd frag to keep Fragsters up at 13-8.
The fact that Stavin wasn't able to kill the upper guy quick enough, it pretty much screamed, it's over, you know. At that point, it's over. There's nothing he can do. His position is known at the 1 versus 3. What more can he do that position? But no, one player from ramp pushes him up. Stavin is able to get the frag, and yet Stavin goes for the insta pre-fire behind the great train, and somehow he gets it. He gets it, and he wins the round for his team. An unlikely win there for Fragsters, but they really need to be careful, you know, because if they would have lost that round, there would have been a very much good possibility for forZe to may not necessarily equalize the score, but at least make it 10-12 at that point. And now, that's what I'm talking about. So Power is the first one to get the frag. Dragonfly, it does look like he's still going to be playing a bit more passively with the sniper rifle, holding down towards T-Con. He's not seeing anyone else a bit. He might just be able to spot out some Power there on the pallets. But Dragonfly, yeah, he's going to miss the shot, of course. He's a bit too quick. There's the Power, and Jerry's actually going to kill Refresh. Refresh was the only lonesome CT player holding down Pop, though, but the Power that spots on the player gets another frag in. Could go for more, but Dragonfly is there to stop him. So many Molotovs being deployed towards Pop Dog. And Dragonfly, yeah, he still made his way towards Sandwich here. Now he's back on the way towards Ivy, taking a look at that part of the map. But Jerry, he's made his way back here on the B side. I think he realized there were at least 2 or 3 Molotovs being thrown out there towards Pop Dog. So he does make the assumption that possibly the B side is just empty. And he is correct. As now forZe overwhelmed the B side. Dragonfly is, I don't know, is he actually going to try to go for this one? The fact that he kills Jerry, he might just try to do so.
Still 2 more players to find the AWP on this retake. It's very difficult, and he's making so much noise. Fire should surely hear him out right here. And Face Crack will look towards upper to try and find another angle against him. Dragonfly creeping up close, spoke down on the bomb. Flash bang in to keep one at play, but again, doesn't realize this fire is here. Close to the bomb site itself, and takes that final frag to reset Fragsters back to basics on the money line. They are going to force by though. Bubsky already in with the Mag 7. CZ's out for Dragonfly for refresher Scout and Kevlar helmets available for Fragsters. I would have really liked to see less of the helmets, particularly from Stavin, because not necessary when you've got AKs in play, and it could be better used for utility or extra weapons. For now though, forZe. Now for the Fragsters, just going to force their way into this next round, try and see if they can take one of these players down, hopefully at the very least. So Power, T-Con, catches Bubsky's head, takes it off his shoulders. Brain splatter across the A-bomb site. And Fragsters still have the stack in towards the open position. The first time they've gone for this as well. They're expecting forZe to go down here, but the question is, will Face Crack or Sviat bite, really? Maybe Dragonfly to bite first, going to go aggressive, spots him, slow peek the CZ, tanks much of the damage. Stavin's also here, ready and waiting. Face Crack will take him down. Stavin's got to get a quick reload, it's hiding behind the box. And backup is also there in the form of Refresh. Good deagle from Torb. Oh, second headshot. And with Refresh getting the scout shot on Spire, it leaves XSC as the lone man remaining. Open a 1-on-3, and actually this is very doable for Fraggers on the retake.
Oh boy, this was not supposed to come to this, but it has. As now Power left in a 1 versus 3. Gonna try to plant the bomb here. I guess the saving grace for Power is then that he might just consider planting the bomb here. He's gonna have to face 3 CT players who are still gonna have to come in here for... Oh, this is aggressive. This is quite the aggressive position from Power. They may not check it, in fact. They probably expect the upper just to try to play passively somewhere towards B upper. But the fact that he plays that aggressively, Power will be checked, and somehow the scout player is able to land the shot. But that will be just enough. Power, that position could have worked out perfectly for him, but the fact that he do check him means that the round is pretty much over at that point. What a round to win. Torben coming up huge plays with the Deagle. Picks up 2 and the 3K in the end. And 14-9 is the scoreline, and forZe. That is a round they should not have afforded to lose.
One that they couldn't afford to lose is right. Look at the money line. Completely trashed and lopsided. So Power will still bring the AWP to the table. And the AK will get forced bought by Jerry. Everybody else is going to get Kevlar, helmets, CZs, PT50s, whatever they can try and muscle together. They're going to try and force Fragsters out of this map point because they know how dangerous this is. The next map is Nuke. That's Fragsters' pick, and a very big sleeper map for them as well. forZe have not been proven to be great on this one, and Fragsters have proven themselves to be great on this one, so they desperately need to try and turn this around now. They've got 6 rounds to overtake Fragsters. They let them get away with this one, then they'll be fighting for an overtime that they can't afford to lose even then. The prompt out positions, jumping around Pop Dog, but Refresh just going to wait for them to drop into his position and take them down as appropriate. The T side. In Brown Halls, Fragsters have 2 players on the B bomb site, Dragonfly and Torben. Meanwhile, 2 on A site, 1 of which is covering off Ivy. Flashbangs go through. Svaya and Jerry popping their way together. A 3rd flashbang even coming out as they desperately try and take down Refresh, but no, nothing comes through. Refresh gets out of dodge. A little bit low on HP, but regardless, alive. And 50 seconds remaining now for the forZe push to come to fruition.
They're taking quite a lot of time here, forZe. It's not the aggressive plays one might be thinking. Refresh is able to kill Swat. Finally, the refrag does come through. And I'm pretty sure if you're forcing that scenario, now you have to make the play. There's only, what, 30 seconds on the clock? It's gonna be the A-bombs, and it seems like they're still making their way. The players out of Pop Dog are now finally coming out of Pop Dog, but it's a bit too late. You could say Little is now the lonesome guy who made his way out of T-Con, but now 15-9 is the scoreline because Fragsters, they're able to pick that one up, and I'm pretty sure they should be able to pick this one up as well. forZe, he will make the force buy here. He will have those pistols, but that's about it. Maybe some of the utility will also come into play. Face Crack can definitely make the purchase of utility, but it's not looking too good here. I mean, 3 smokes do come out, a couple flashes as well. A Molotov in the hands of Swat, but they will go up against 4 players who have got the rifles. One of them, well, the 5th one has even got the scope rifle in the form of the AWP. So this is going to be not the best of chances here for forZe. They're running for the flames, in fact. They're just running through, and that's a barbecue for Refresh. If there ever was one here towards Train. Face Crack making his way onto the site. Little still alive, but not any longer. Jerry now somehow alive, but he's also taken out. 16-9 it is, as Fragsters close out the very first map here at the Bets.net Challenger Series Grand Finale.
Oh man, that's not how forZe wanted to go out as well. They needed that map. They desperately needed to take their pick, because now they go to Nuke, a map which, well, just off the basis of where they stand in the map pool, I think Fragsters may have this series 2-0 now here, Danny. But we'll find out after the break when we do go to Nuke to find out whether Fragsters will 2-0 their way into the top seed for the Bets.net Masters. Don't go anywhere. We conclude the Challenger Series after this break.